Ibom Digest. You're welcome. The headlines. Akwa Ibom Constitutes State's Taskforce to Revamp Primary Healthcare. Akwa Ibom, United Nations partner to diversify economy beyond oil. Governor Umo Eno returns from Executive Council retreat. Government denounces fake grant scheme linked to Umo Eno. Akwa Ibom Governor Umo Eno honored with Leadership Award. The news in details. In a decisive move to strengthen the primary healthcare delivery system across Akwa Ibom State, Governor Umo Eno has approved the constitution of a comprehensive state task force on primary healthcare, PHC. The task force, which was formally ratified at an emergency meeting of the State Executive Council on Wednesday, April 9, 2025, is a major component of the administration's Arise agenda, focused on improving access to quality health services in rural and undeserved areas. According to a statement released by the Secretary to the State Government, the newly established task force will be chaired by the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State and is composed of a wide range of stakeholders drawn from government ministries, healthcare agencies, religious bodies, traditional institutions, and international development partners. Other key members include the Commissioner for Health and Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, the Executive Secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, aka PHCDA, the Executive Secretary of the State Health Insurance Agency, SSHIA, the State Coordinator of the World Health Organization, WHO, representatives from UNICEF and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, as well as chairmen of local government councils, leaders of faith-based organizations, and professionals in the health sector. Notably, the composition also integrates voices from the State House of Assembly, the Traditional Rulers Council, and the Arewa community, and civil society actors such as the Nigerian Medical Association NMA, the Joint Health Sector Union, JOHESU, and seasoned health professionals and planners. The task force's secretariat will be managed by the Director of Immunization and Disease Control in the Ministry of Health. This multi-sectoral collaboration underscores the Eno administration's commitment to a holistic and participatory approach to healthcare reform. By bringing together technical experts, local government leaders, religious representatives, and international development agencies, the task force is expected to provide strategic guidance, monitor PHC facility performance, and drive policy implementation that ensures equitable healthcare access across all 31 local government areas. The Governor's Arise agenda, which stands for agricultural revolution, rural development, infrastructure maintenance and advancement, security management, and economic empowerment, places healthcare reform at the heart of its development priorities. This newly inaugurated task force is one of the most expansive and diverse health governance structures in the state's history, signaling a bold effort to transform grassroots healthcare and ensure sustainable community wellness. As the task force begins work, it is anticipated that their collaboration will address long-standing challenges in PHC, such as staffing gaps, irregular funding, outdated facilities, and low immunization coverage, aligning with global best practices and the health-related Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Meanwhile, as the world confronts volatility in the oil market and evolving global economic realities, Akwa Ibom State is charting a bold new course toward a diversified, technology-driven economy, and the United Nations is lending its support. During a high-level engagement on the sidelines of the recent Executive Council retreat in Lagos, Governor Umo Eno met with Ahunna Ezeakonwa, Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations and Regional Director of the UNDP, to explore collaborative pathways for transforming Akwa Ibom's economy beyond petroleum. The discussions focused on leveraging tourism, agriculture, education, and digital infrastructure to drive inclusive and sustainable development. Ms. Ezeakonwa commended the state's progressive investments and strong governance posture, stating, Akwa Ibom remains a favorite for many development partners. The work being done here, particularly in converting public resources into sustainable income-generating assets, is exemplary. The UNDP official also highlighted global trends, indicating that economies overly dependent on oil are increasingly vulnerable, making it urgent for governments to rethink their growth models. She praised Governor Eno's foresight, particularly with initiatives like Ibom Air, investments in real estate, and plans to revalue underutilized state assets. There are technologies available today, from drone-enabled irrigation to digital learning platforms that can completely change the face of agriculture, food security, and education. But these cannot be driven by the private sector alone. Government must lead, as Akwa said. In his response, Governor Eno expressed gratitude for the budding partnership and lauded the UNDP for shifting attention to sub-national development in Nigeria. He linked the Arise agenda to the Global Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), affirming that Akwa Ibom is fully committed to leveraging local potential to meet global benchmarks. We are well positioned to benefit from this collaboration, Eno said. Our peace, natural resources and strategic investments like Ibom Air give us the edge. We are not just preparing for a future without oil, we are building it. Governor Eno revealed plans to host tourism, power and corporate summits later in the year to further consolidate investment opportunities. He welcomed UNDP's commitment to support Akwa Ibom in technology adoption, rural development, and institutional capacity building. We are transforming Akwa Ibom into a post-oil success story, he added. And with partners like the UNDP, our journey is accelerated. The meeting marked another step in Governor Eno's quiet but determined efforts to transition Akwa Ibom from an oil-reliant state to a hub of diversified, resilient, and people-focused. Continuing, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umar Eno has said the recently concluded 4-day Executive Council retreat was a strategic move to recharge his team, assess the progress of his administration, and fine-tune strategies for better implementation of the Arise agenda as he approaches the third year in office. Speaking to Government House correspondents on Saturday, April 12, 2025, shortly after returning to Uyo via the Victor Atta International Airport, Governor Eno described the retreat as a reset button for governance, especially as the administration welcomed new commissioners into the fold. We just brought some new commissioners on board, and we needed to induct them and bring them up to speed with public service procedures in line with the Arise agenda, the governor stated. In the last 2 years, we have done a few things, so it was necessary to assess our performance in line with the Arise agenda and the gaps that we have to plug. He emphasized that regular assessment, continuous training, and the cultivation of a results-driven mindset are essential for sustained governance. As human beings, there must be gaps, and through assessment, the gaps are identified. With action plans, we plug them. Any life that is not assessed is not worth living. So that is all the retreat was about. We are back, reloaded, refreshed, and ready to progress in our services to our state. Governor Eno also commented on the ongoing construction of the 18-story Ibom Towers in Lagos, which he visited immediately after the retreat. He expressed satisfaction with the pace and quality of work, commending the contractor, Messrs. WL Construction Limited, for staying true to the vision of creating a landmark project. He urged the contractor to ensure that indigenous Akwa Ibom artisans and contractors living in Lagos are actively engaged in the project to create economic value for citizens beyond the state's borders. Furthermore, the Akwa Ibom state government has issued a strong disclaimer against a fake grant scheme circulating online, which falsely claims that Governor Umar Eno has initiated the payment of 50,000 naira to individuals across the state through a supposed community development group. The statement, signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ekerete Udo, described the scheme as a deliberate fraud designed to deceive unsuspecting members of the public using the Governor's name and office. Our attention has been drawn to a scheme by scammers, obviously aimed at hoodwinking unsuspecting members of the public, to the effect that His Excellency Pastor Umar Eno, PhD, Governor of Akwa Ibom State, has begun the payment of 50,000 naira business grants to all individuals in Akwa Ibom. the statement read. The scammers further stated that over 10,000 people have received 50,000 naira each from Governor Umar Eno's Community Development Group. The government clarified that the link being shared to access the so-called grant is fake and warned the public to disregard it completely. It emphasized that all legitimate empowerment and grant schemes under the current administration are processed and verified exclusively through the official state employment portal, https://employment.akwaibomstate.gov.ng. The general public is hereby advised to discountenance and ignore this reprehensible work of scammers and con artists, the release stated. The government reiterated its commitment to genuine economic empowerment through structured, transparent, and accountable initiatives, urging citizens to rely only on verified state channels for information regarding public support programs. Conclusively, Governor Umar Eno of Akwa Ibom State has been recognized with the Distinguished Public Service and Transformational Leadership Award by the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, NACC, a prestigious honor that acknowledges his bold strides in governance through the Arise Agenda, a policy framework focused on agriculture, rural development, infrastructure, security, and education. The award was presented at the NACC's 65th anniversary celebration and the formal inauguration of Alhaji Sheriff Balogun as its 20th national president. The well-attended ceremony, which held on Saturday, April 12, at the Lagos Continental Hotel in Victoria Island, brought together dignitaries from both public and private sectors, including governors, federal ministers, foreign diplomats, and top business executives. The evening also featured the unveiling of the prototype of NACC's forthcoming head office, underscoring the event's theme of institutional growth and economic cooperation. Governor Eno, represented by the Commissioner for Information, Right Honorable Aniyekan Umana, expressed deep appreciation on behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom. He congratulated the Chamber for attaining 65 years of economic advocacy and partnership, and extended his warm regards to the newly inaugurated President and the Executive Committee. Noting that the recognition is a call to higher responsibility, Umana emphasized that the governor remains committed to people-centered governance and sustainable development. He highlighted tangible achievements under the Arise Agenda, including expanded investment in healthcare infrastructure, revitalized agricultural programs for food security, and a broadened push for inclusive economic growth. These policies, he said, have begun to yield positive transformations across the state, particularly in rural communities. The Chamber also presented a Special Appreciation Award to the Akwa Ibom State Government, citing its strategic partnership and sustained support for NACC's efforts to deepen trade and economic ties between Nigeria and the United States. The governor's delegation included Mr. Michael Effiong James, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Media, Lagos, who joined the commissioner at the event. This national recognition adds to a growing list of accolades for the Umar Eno administration, which has earned praise for its steady, vision-driven leadership and efforts to entrench development-focused governance beyond the urban centers of Akwa Ibom State.